Hi, everybody. Welcome to Insufferable Bastards. My name is Carlos Danger. The purposes of this broadcast, and I'm joined by my co-host, Mr. Brian Spears. Hello, Brian.
Hello, hello.
I'm laughing because as that countdown is going, oh, Brian, you made it. The fuck yeah, from Cardiff, baby. Hello, Cardiff. Welcome to this stream. And also joining us, making a return appearance to the Insufferable Bastard podcast, is Mr. Matt Maisto from Mondo Creepy. Hello, Matt.
Greetings and salutations.
Welcome back, sir.
Thank you. It's good to be back.
So we have nothing really. This is a movie review and TV podcast, right? At its heart. So I'm saying we're big phonies. We have nothing to review this week. I haven't watched anything. I've just been stuck in the Dabbleverse now for a good 4 months. The well has run dry in terms of any content that we can create, anything to review. I'm at a loss. So in the wise words of Lorenzo Areola, we're going to regurgitate some content, right? Clip show, transformative content. Feel to help me out. Feel free to weigh in, boys. I would appreciate that.
I'm all about it. I'm all about it.
So the first thing before we get to some of our clips, and we're going to talk about a accidental fib I told on the Cardiff Electric broadcast earlier this week. We're going to update, well, not really update, but we're going to weigh in a little bit on DabbleCon, Kinky Loco. I love regurg. So do I. Hi, Kinky Loco. God bless you, Kinky Loco. Talk a little bit about Peegate, right? Because you have to. And I think that so many people have said so many things about the DabbleCon Peegate. I don't know what else we can add to it, but we'll try. Then we're going to talk a little bit about Chad Zumock on Misery Loves Company Friday. I thought he was wonderful. I think Buzz Chad is the best Chad. And then we'll go in and talk about some movie stuff. So how's that sound to you guys?
Sounds good. I'm always a fan of Angry Chad.
He wasn't necessarily angry, though. There was a lot of smiling. I thought he was amusing. I thought he was funny, but let's get to that later in the broadcast. I apologize.
Fair enough.
Before we do any of that, Matt, we've known for years. Went to a lot of horror conventions together back in the day.
Back in the day.
Matt writes, directs, produces a YouTube program also available on Roku called Mondo Creepy. You're in production. When are we going to see it? What's going on?
Right now, we shot a episode about a month ago. We're shooting another one next week. The plan is I'm trying to stockpile like 3 or 4 together and kind of release them as like a regular TV season. So hopefully you'll get one at some point, like every week or every other week, make it feel like a real TV season and hopefully get a little momentum going for the show.
Sweet. And as you were saying that, I was reading the comments, so I wasn't paying attention. But do you have a target date for when you'll release the next one? Did you answer that? Just say it again. I apologize.
I don't have a target date yet because, like I said, I'm stockpiling writing at the same time. So I'm hoping. Oh,
so you're not shooting, editing, getting it prepared, and then going on to the next one.
No,
you're doing this
I'm
all.
like
I misunderstood.
I wrote and then shot and finishing up the writing probably this weekend and then shooting next week. Then probably going to try and write the next one after that and then shoot as soon as possible. So I'm aiming for May.
Nice. All right, May. That'll be here
end of April or May. So
before we know it.
Yeah.
Brian has relegated himself to the sole role of producer. He's hiding behind his microphone. Oh, there he is. He unmuted himself. Brian, you can, of course, weigh in. You don't have to mute yourself just because you're reading comments. Brian, for the first time, has control of the comments, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm muting myself so I can breathe. I'm a fat guy.
I know breathing into the microphone is hard when you got the deviated septum. So I thought the first thing we would play here is there was a clip. Obviously, last week was DabbleCon, right? Everyone remembers. You guys both refused to go with me. I went up there alone. Like
Big trip.
I have a job I couldn't get out of.
Okay, first of all, big trip. There were people there from California. There were people there from Florida. There were people there from Michigan. There were people there from North Carolina. There were literally people from all over the United States who made it to DabbleCon.
I saw the Dabblers live stream. I regretted not going.
Okay, second point. Brian had to work. Bill Loney. Brian, I'll tell you, Bill Loney couldn't make it Friday. I think he drove up from Texas. He was there Saturday. I think he left at 6 in the morning.
With my commute, my Friday was 20 hours. So I will say that I could not make it.
All I'm saying is you both could have left it at you didn't go. All right. So anyway, there's been a lot of DabbleCon wrap-ups. Ours being the worst. We did one last Sunday, which got like 900 views, which is horribly embarrassing. But anyway, the next day or so, I was on the Cardiff Electric show. I actually invited myself. It wasn't like he invited me. He did a thing for patrons, and anybody who could join could join. So I joined twice. And the second time, maybe either Brian or Matt or anybody watching, if you can pick out my lie in this clip, that's the assignment. Pick out where Carlos Danger lied. Here we go.
It's more people that you've admired for 23 years, please.
Well, if we're gonna name drop, let's see. Godfrey really looks after me. Who else?
Welcome back to the show, Carlos Danger. How are you?
Mike
Yeah, how are you doing?
Bobby
I just
Kelly.
wanted to say two highlights for me at DabbleCon was just being in a room with 200 people going, there was something.
Yes, that was great.
Almost-
as soon as we started
almost
playing the clip of
tantric.
John going, yeah, that was hilarious. That and the skull. Anytime he would pull up his beer, everyone was like, skull! Everyone was drinking. That was very
There
funny.
was a lot of that. And then also,
Yeah.
Carl, being up there, like being I'm a fan for a long time of Stern and O&A. Anthony Cumia commenting on classic Howard Stern was just a moment.
I watched
Just
your
seeing
Insufferable
that.
Bastards episode talking about that. Yes,
I apologize for that.
Also,
but I'm
no, don't apologize. It was great. I also was very excited to have Kumi up there because as soon as we started playing the first clip of Howard, he's like, hoo, Robin. I'm like, all right, this is amazing. So, yes, I agree. That was fun.
all right, this is meta as hell, but can any of our viewers point out, or can Matt, maybe we'll go with, but let's go with viewers. Any viewers have any? All right, I got Kinky Loco there. Kinky Loco says the lie is 200 people. There were only 40 of us there. I like how Kinky Loco's trolling himself. That's Kinky Loco's answer. Matt, do you know where I might have told? It's inadvertent.
I think the
This
fib
is
is,
so
that
meta.
you said that you were an O&A fan.
Okay, Brian, what is your?
That was going to be my guess. Not that you're not a fan, but you're not a O&A.
You're not like a
Like,
super fan, hardcore.
Yeah, not a super fan.
Correct. I only watched O&A when they were on 102.7 WNEW in New York City during my commute to college and probably my first commute to my first job. A lot of road miles in those. I don't know why. You can almost see me as I'm saying it. I'm like, But anyway, I fangirled out. And I just want to admit publicly, because I think if there's one thing we know about the Dabbleverse is that you have to come clean when you make a mistake. You have to admit wrongs. And you have to try to make amends. So
If they did that, there would be no Dabbleverse.
What do you mean? Oh, that's true. Yeah, because Stuttering John,
Yeah,
that's his
that's-
whole thing. Well, he's the dabbler, right? We're
No,
just
there's a lot
dabblers.
of people vying for that next spot.
All right, and so let's get on to, one thing that was interesting as an attendee of DabbleCon was to read and experience and watch the reaction to DabbleCon from the sort of outside world. Like Misery Loves Company and Chad Zumock and Kevin Brennan, they were talking. Brian, you should just note that that's makeup. Brian is a special effects makeup artist, so he's got paint on his hands because people will wonder why you have giant black sores all over yourself. It's not a wound. It's your artwork. That is your profession.
I go to the same guy, Stuttering John's nail person does mine too.
Nailtician. That sounds, I think that might be a word. I don't know. So anyway, so they were talking about Chad Zumock and who tried to stop DabbleCon and blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, the discussion among the dabblers and the people who were in attendance was Peegate. Have you guys followed Peegate? I guess
I've been following Peegate very closely. In fact, I've been trying to get hashtag PDabbler going as a thing, and it's just not working out.
PDabbler. Oh, I saw that. I saw that somewhere else. Oh, we got we had Corn Diff. And no, Brian, I'm sorry. We did it at the same time. We have Corn Diff. I don't know who's who anymore. There's too many of the. But
Too many
wow, this
potatoes.
is live. This is tremendous. Yes. Hi, Cardiff Natural Gas. Love you, man. But before I play this clip, I just wanted to point out, and then we're going to play a clip from Kevin's live stream. Right, Kevin from Why Do I Podcast is at the center of Peegate as the peer. Got so intoxicated, he woke up in the middle of the night peeing on his roommate's belongings. His roommate being OJ, Obnoxious John.
For the record, how old is Kevin?
I don't know, man. He's old.
He's in his 40s, right?
Yeah.
Close to it. He's
Doesn't
close to
matter.
it.
He got messed
Well,
up. I mean,
that's way too old to be peeing in somebody's stuff or on a
you're
wall.
just such a nice guy. I did that last night.
What is that Bible thing there? But for the grace of God, something like that. What's on in the background? What are you watching back there?
I'm watching an episode of Mondo Creepy.
Okay, I wasn't sure what things. I don't want it to get out of hand. So, but I just want to say a couple of positive things about Kevin because he has been getting the shit kicked out of him for the last couple of days here. And I'm not sure his live stream responding to all this helped him in any way, probably made the situation worse. But number one, he's helpful and friendly when it comes to troubleshooting tech issues for other YouTube boomers, this podcast included. Number two, he's pleasant in any and all interactions I've had with him via direct messages on Twitter. Number three, he was a past guest on our show and we had a great time with him. Right, Brian? Would you concur?
Absolutely.
Number four, I think he's done a great job building himself a little community around his Where Do I Pee YouTube channel. And Cardiff Natural Gas. What is hashtag Pissgate? Perhaps you should talk about it for 4 hours for those of us unfamiliar. I will try to get through this very quickly. Number five, I was looking forward to hanging out with Kevin at DabbleCon. Again, that being said, I did tune in to the live stream just referenced by Cardiff Natural Gas. Basically, as a fan and as a viewer and as a person observing whatever all this is, in the words of Kevin Brennan, I wanted to find out how Kevin Dumbfuck, not Kevin Brennan, ended up naked and peeing on another man's belongings in a hotel room, right? That's what I wanted to find out. How does
That's
that
a very good question.
And then after the live stream, I was of the mind, well, of course he ended up naked and peeing on another man's personal belongings. By the end of that live stream, you could totally see, this totally seems like a guy that would get himself into that situation. All right, so I called in to Kevin's live stream, and I'm just going to play that for you. I had some questions myself, so here we go.
What do you think of that story?
Hey,
Was that Granny talking about his birth?
Yeah, it's sort of a rebirth.
He has a child? Good for him.
I'd be fucking.
Hey, Kevin Dumbfuck.
What's up, buddy?
All right. Did the club owner approach you? Were you kind of a dick to the club owner? That's one of the rumors running around, one of the statements that was made.
No, not that I
Like
can remember.
DabbleCon I'm
I
talking
remember a couple of the employees
Was there
coming up.
There's like a ticket problem.
Oh, ticket problem. Yeah, because I put it under my fake name instead of putting under his real name, which he doesn't want out there. So I didn't put it out there.
Were you like what I'm trying to get to is there is this thought that maybe Kevin was pissed. Well, wait, that's the wrong phrasing. Maybe Kevin was angry
About
that
what?
there might have been
I get what you
some
did there with the piss thing.
malfeasance
I get it.
in the pissing. Like you could, because when I met you, you seemed like you were at least in a bad mood. You know what I'm saying? Is that just your normal personality, or
wait?
Because one of the things that they were saying, all right, when you were trying to get your ticket with OJ, you were kind of a dick to the staff to the point where they had to kind of calm you down.
No, that's not true at all. They kept saying we don't have any record of it. I go, I ordered this. I ordered it. I know I ordered this. I found the ticket order number. They looked it up. They saw it was under Kevin Dumbfuck, and everything was good. It just took a couple of minutes. It wasn't a big deal.
And were you having a good time like that first night? Because I know, like you were touchy feely with people. You were a little kind of like grabbing people a little bit.
That was the night I blacked out.
Like you were in...
Wait, you were grabbing cocks?
That was
That
was the night I blacked out. Our second night there was the first night of DabbleCon. So that is when I blacked out.
Grabbing?
Right,
I was just probably being like huggy with people.
Comedy show.
Yeah, like between the comedy show and the karaoke is when I blacked out.
Wait, did you sexually assault somebody?
Okay, gotcha.
I might have been touchy
Well, he
feely.
was more like invading people's personal space. But it was just kind of odd. It was just kind of. But you know what it came off as? It came off as maybe you were a little pissed, and I think that's where people are saying, "Oh, Kevin left. You know, he's being a little strange. He left here weird." And I think that's why people are saying, "Did he piss on OJ's shit out of some type of spite?" I think that's where it came from. It was kind of the way you were acting prior.
Well, you got to remember, I was completely blackout drunk at this point. So any way I'm acting
Right.
is not my normal way, and it's not indicative of my emotional state at the point. It is blackout drunk because of muscle relaxers and too much alcohol. So I don't think you can chalk anything of what I did up into what I wanted to do. It was completely
and I'm just trying to explain to you what just
No,
the
I,
way
appre-
it looked.
I
You know,
appreciate
you were
that.
wondering how could people think this? You know what I mean?
I do
But, all right, I
appreciate
just wanted to
that.
point
Yeah.
that out. And then the next day, I saw you the next day. I mean, the real tragedy of this is that we were supposed to do a podcast together. Man, you stood me up. That's what's really. I mean, all right,
Dude,
OJ
I
had
brought
his
$300
jeans
so
ruined,
much equipment.
but we were supposed to do a podcast, and that never happened.
Dude, I brought so much equipment and I planned so much and I did zero. You're not
Let
the
me ask you
you're
another
not the
thing.
most
I came up to
disappointed
you-
out there. I'm the most disappointed one.
I came
Trust me.
up. I came up to you Saturday. You were sitting with KB, and I got to say, dude, it looked like you were having an overdose. Like you looked like shit.
I was so that was the day after the blackout.
Your eyes were faded. It looked
Where-
like you were nodding out. It
Yeah.
literally looked like you were like
Yeah.
you were gonna
So that was the
knock
day.
right the fuck out.
That was the
so.
day after a blackout. I woke up and I was just like, I don't know what happened. I don't really know where I am. I have an incredible hangover, and the only way I know to solve that is to keep drinking. So that's what I did.
Did you
World's
seek like
worst
any
artist,
medical
you
treatment or
didn't
anything
piss
like that the
on
next
somebody.
day? or the
Medical
days-
treatment?
the
What
days
kind of
after?
queer are you? Medical treatment? The fuck kind of man are you? You go medical treatment for dehydration and I got too fucked up? No, I got to be dying
I'm
before I go do that.
I'm a man who can hold my liquor.
Yeah, well, add some cyclobenzaprines to that and see how well you do.
It's always the fucking New Yorkers. Every goddamn
The
time.
last thing I want to ask, Kevin, you know, I usually love you, but you mentioned a couple of times tonight that like you put up on OJ and you kind of paid for him.
Well, that was a mistake.
But you know,
That
he
was a
almost
mistake.
put on his clothes.
That was a mistake.
Okay, so yeah, that was that clip. What I was trying to ask there was during that broadcast, and I don't know if anybody else noticed this. I don't know if you guys watched or not, but Kevin kept sort of flexing on OJ, the victim here, clearly the victim, right? There's no one's proven that he asked for this by saying that, hey, I paid for this, I did this. You know, it was a little odd to me. But he doesn't answer that because it was hard to hear him, and it was hard to be heard, I guess. But that was the only question I didn't get answered there. But I mean, the lesson out of that, there's two things: not just don't share a hotel room with another person. Don't mix drugs and booze. Just pick one or the other.
That leads to my question: do we know why he was on muscle relaxers?
Yes,
they're
but
fun.
No,
I know.
You'd have
Sat
to
on
go-
a plane too long.
you'd have to go in and watch the whole stream. He has a whole long explanation.
There's a medical purpose for it, is what you're saying.
Matt, I don't want to answer that. You'd have to. I mean,
Okay, I gotta dig deep.
I'm not.
now.
I'm trying. I mean, Kevin is getting worked over on Twitter. I don't want to add to it, but it is what it is. But I just wanted to play that. Brian, those are going. What do we go? Let me see a couple. I missed some of these. We said. I watched the whole podcast. The callers were the best part. Yeah, it was very entertaining. I mean, just from, not that I'm any type of broadcaster, I don't know if Kevin served himself by having Granny on. Granny might have been appropriate in another setting, but he kept telling drunkalogs about himself. And while drunkalogs are always funny, hold on, I'll do the comment for a second. I mean, we all love drunkalogs, but we were particularly there, all the viewers that night, to hear Kevin's drunkalog, not necessarily the other guy. Cardiff Natural Gas, are we supposed to forget that David Chandler paid for the hotel and not Kevin? The lies are tremendous. Yes. I got to meet David Chandler. He is awesome. Citizen M just says, happy? Ryan Sharman, he said he has a bad back and hurt it on the flight. Yeah, Matt, he said that he has a history of back problems that he was essentially born with, and he had a motorcycle accident, and that he had a very rough flight. I guess he was delayed for a long time, so he came in not right. And then he had
trying to find a reason to
taken,
sympathize with Kevin. That's why I asked.
He had forgotten that he had taken muscle relaxers from 2013. He's had the bottle since 2013, et cetera, et cetera. Jason N., 9 years sober and was a blackout drunk addict. I know nothing. Not sure. Oh, that's when you set up here, Jason.
Yeah.
I'm the asshole that gave him sober advice on Twitter. He won't listen. Yeah, I guess, not to take anybody's inventory, but, you connect the trouble in your life with the substance in your life. If you can kind of marry those two, 2 + 2 = 4, what's the common denominator? Pay for your own shit so someone can't hold it over you. Yes. Yeah, I agree there. Excuses will keep adding up. All right, so that's that 5. Just a guest 5. What is that? Is that how many live viewers we have? That's probably what that is in reference to, I assume.
We just hit 16.
Oh, yeah. We're going big time. Anyway, that was DabbleCon. Brian, or
I do have one other
you guys
question,
add whatever you want about it. It wasn't DabbleCon. It was Peegate. I apologize.
I do have one other question. Why would he reserve the tickets under his fake name?
I have no idea.
Yeah. I mean, my only thing is, listen, I'm not going to give the guy a hard time because he got too screwed up at a convention. I mean, I've been there.
We've all been there.
I'm not even going to give him a hard time.
Well, the only thing I'll say about that, the only thing is I'm not giving him a hard time about that either, but he was, he came up to me, he's grabbing my head, he's grabbing my beard gut.
Finish my statement.
It was a little more than just
what I'm saying is
drunk.
I think his demeanor is what's causing more of the issues than peeing on a pair of $100 jeans.
Yeah, he's doubling down. Listen, we've all done dumb stuff.
Like if it was like, hey guys, I screwed up, I'm a jerk, I'm an asshole for peeing, and I'm embarrassed by that. It's the whole bravado. It's kind of how he's dealing with it afterwards. I mean, listen, I'm glad he's dealing with it the way it is, because again, I have no.
It's very entertaining to watch.
Yeah, I'm loving all of the controversy going on behind the scenes more than I am the actual scene. I like this other stuff.
Full disclosure, I once spilled a drink all over Ted Ramey at a convention, but I didn't at the moment it happened, I didn't blame him and say, why are you in my way? Why are you bumping into me? I apologize profusely. He was very cool about it.
I heard once, Brian got thrown out of a horror convention before the convention. Well, that's the bar. Before the convention had started. We've all had, well, that's the thing. We could all say, hey, yeah. I guess it's
I went
how
to
you
a strip club on my birthday, and I didn't even get in.
Don't yell. Your mic's a little high for some reason.
I went to a strip club on my birthday years and years ago, like my 24th birthday. And a bunch of us went to a strip club, and I wasn't allowed in because I was so drunk. But all my friends left me in the car. Thank you very much.
Oh yeah, and that was from what I read in the newspaper was sub-zero temperatures there. Yeah, we all have drunkalogs. D-Man 69, you can drink on cyclobenzaprine, especially more than 10 hours after taking it. Ask me how I know. Own your shit, no excuses. Yeah, I got an LOL.
And I think that's the big point there. It's just there shouldn't be any excuses. You got screwed up, accept it, run. That should be your statement.
I agree
answer
with
the muttering J questions. You can almost do a Twitter feed, print out those questions, address them one by one. Try not to be defensive. Ask OJ, hey man, how can I make this up to you? 6 string. It's easy. It's easier for me to say that. That's the other thing.
Also, I think
we shouldn't talk about this for too much longer. We sound like a bunch of I don't know what gossiping. What does Corndiff say? Oh, he was pissy the whole time last night. I did watch that on the Backyard Boys podcast, then bailed early without saying anything. Yeah. He acted like an ass the whole time.
And I think that's hurting him more than peeing on stuff. We're all making fun of that because we've all been there and we've all done it in our 20s. Maybe not. I'm not saying you did it like that, but that's kind of it's the response to the mistake.
Right. And I guess his point of view, he pointed out in his live stream, look, there's a certain segment of the population out there that hates me no matter what I do. So why should I try to be anything different? So that's that. But he does have, look, I think I was watching Ski Mask Collective and it looked like Ski Mask urinated himself in support of Kevin, which I found quite touching. Stevie Lou may or may not have. He at least appeared to be simulating urinating in his own apartment on a live stream in support of Kevin Dumbfuck. So there are some great things happening. There is some solidarity to some extent.
And OG's been very classy about the whole thing.
OJ is yeah. I wish I had spent more time with him at DabbleCon. All right, so Kinky Loco. I'm going to bring that up one more time. Kinky Loco, Pissgate could be his key to more viewers, but his response has caused people who supported him to back away.
That's where I agree. Kinky says it way more streamlined.
I'm hedging my words a little bit because I'm a coward, but I think that could be right. He shows no genuine remorse. Yeah, it was more defensiveness in the live stream than apologies. So,
Don't stop because it's hilarious.
Cardiff Natural Gas. Stevie Lou may be the greatest quote unquote comedian of our generation. Something tells me Cardiff might not be a fan. That might be sarcasm there. All right. So let's move on. God bless you, Kevin Dumbfuck. Hang in there, buddy. I don't know what else to say there. I'm not going to.
Hashtag PDabbler.
Yeah. I don't like. Some people are shitting on El Harible, which I don't. That guy didn't do anything. I mean, and he was there working to a certain extent at DabbleCon. Like he was doing his thing.
Listen, you got to
people were appreciative of him. So
you have to understand why he didn't want to shake his hand. It's totally understandable.
Oh yeah. Hashtag PDabbler. There it is. So yesterday on Misery Loves Company, I don't want to say the world's greatest podcast because then Cardiff Electric will never be nice to me again. But I love Misery Loves Company. Chad Zumock, controversial figure in the internet world, or at least the world of 40-something-year-old white dudes who are now taking over a very small, dark corner of YouTube. He was on Misery Loves Company with Bob Levy. We know that Chad Zumock gave up drinking for the new year. He's doing what he's saying. He's been sober. His YouTube views are up. I think Chad has turned a corner, perhaps.
Good for Chad.
But did he fall off the wagon yesterday, or did he earn a drink? Let's watch a clip. This was posted by Son of Billy Wagner on Twitter yesterday, and it's a quick clip. I mean, the setup here is that Kevin Brennan's microphone stopped working, and there was a couple of minutes where Brennan wasn't on the screen, and Chad held down the super chat while Levy just sort of reacted to Chad. Chad is almost funny as a tumor. Yes, there is a infamous interview out there with Corndiff and Chad. Although I thought that was entertaining too. Like I thought Chad was doing a work, pretending he was angry at Corndiff. I found that kind of entertaining.
I found that interview very, very entertaining.
Yeah, and Corndiff's delivery is much better than mine. So I'm talking about, okay, here we go. Here is Chad makes Brennan seem likable. Not wrong. Turn that up. Go like this.
There you go, Kevin. There you go.
Kevin, we had so much money coming in.
Wait, Chad, shut the fuck up. Can you hear me or not?
Perfect, baby. Perfect.
Well, you guys are fucking. This is what a fucking shit show.
This is one of the best, they said. I don't know.
Why are
can
you
you
mad?
hear me or not? Thumbs up if you can hear me.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Adam.
We heard you the whole time.
No, you didn't. I asked you to say thumbs up if you heard me. You said no, you didn't hear me.
Yeah.
You were loud. You were loud.
No.
Chad, shut the fuck up. I asked before. I had it set up. I said thumbs up if you can hear me, and you didn't do anything.
Yeah, we didn't fucking hear you when you said that. We did not hear you when you said that.
You said we heard you the whole time.
No, we heard you when you were on.
What? When he was on early.
I don't know. I don't know what the fuck's going on now.
It's perfect now.
Now we hear you, so who gives a shit?
Yeah, that's why it's like I got to upgrade everything, and then one thing doesn't work, and Adam's not here, and it's a shit show. So that's why I said keep it as simple as possible. Everyone's like, no, you need the stand-up mic, you need a green screen, you need the headsets, you need this, you need that, and then one thing doesn't work. It's too loud. Adam can't turn it down, and then it's an absolute fucking shit show.
By the way, the whole time you were gone, I did the super chat, so go fuck yourself, Kevin. I tried to help you.
What? Why are you mad?
Oh, you're really drunk now. Why are you so drunk? It's 4:00.
It's like Brennan is doing an impersonation of himself.
Really? No, I think the guy's genuine. You're saying that's what you got out of that clip, that Brennan's a phony?
No, well,
how dare you?
I didn't say he's a phony. It's just he was extra Brennan-ish in that clip. That's all.
Was Chad likable? Wasn't Chad? I thought Chad was great.
I think he's so likable. I think he's great on Misery Loves Company.
When he's drinking, though, he's got to have it. When he's like he takes off his hat. He's a great foil to. Am I wrong, Chad? Am I wrong? Am I out of my mind here? I asked the chat, and Brian takes away a question. I mean, a thing. Here, Florida's greatest toilet. Everyone shit on him.
Oh.
Misdemeanor. Bob becomes less funny when he gets on Kevin's podcast. Oh, I think Brian might agree with you there. Brian does
agree with that.
Brian, in full disclosure, is neither a Shuley nor Bob fan.
Yeah, I'm totally. I can't. When the whole Dabbler verse implodes, I can't wait to actually say what I want to say.
And this is
but I'm
Tommy.
Respectful of my host.
What the fuck does that mean now? What does that mean? You can say whatever you want.
You know.
What am I in running for a show on the Shuley Network? Are you out of your mind?
Well, maybe you got a better chance than I would, because I would just say no. I don't do hack shows, but that's enough.
Brian's discovered Shuley's Anonymous, and he discovered the podcast. What's it called? The name escapes me now. God damn it! The tapes. It's the one where they went over Shuley's set from DabbleCon and then compared it to, basically he's recycling content according to the podcast.
But he's a stand-up comic. You have a set, you go from one comedy club to another, you do the same thing. That's what stand-up comedy is.
Well, the argument being that this is a guy
5-year-old material
who goes after Stuttering John for that.
Yeah.
It's I can't remember. It's in Shuley's Anonymous. Nobody remembers the name of it.
Stuttering John's material is 10 years old. At least Shuley's doing stuff that's only 5 years old.
So anyway, that's what Brian wants to say. Kumia has Gino. Brennan has Zumock. Frankenstein has Igor.
Also, it sounds like from all the technical problems.
Kinky Loco says, say it.
From all the technical problems, it seems Brennan is complaining about. Maybe he's a bit more appreciative about what they're doing over at Compound Media.
No, I think that's Brennan's thing. I mean, look, I agree with him. I mean, I would be the same as Brennan with all the computer errors and all that stuff. That's what makes this show funny. I like that there is no production value.
Yeah.
And it's just a guy going on and ranting.
D-Man69, I hated Chad at first, but for some reason, I don't hate him as much now. I mean, my experience with Chad is that I'm a new listener to Misery Loves Company. I only know the Chad era. I started listening on Zoom during the pandemic. So that's another thing. Your perspective is influenced by where you joined, I guess. He doesn't try as hard when he's drinking. Yeah. Corn diff. Chad brings in the tips, but not in a good way. People just hate him so much they're willing to pay money to let him know.
That is true.
This is Citizen M. This guy's a pro. He did a bunch of good calls. Actually, Citizen M had good calls to Kevin Dumbfuck during the Christmas Eve special that Kevin did, and then the other night on Kevin's live stream. Citizen M says, I'd like to add apologies to those who already know. Chrissy Mayer copyright struck all the DabbleCon stand-up sets, having them removed from the ClearNet. So I leaked them to to John Melendez. The Gulag says Kevin needs someone to abuse, and we enjoy watching Chad get abused. And I like that, like, Chad gives it back to Kevin a little bit, as Tom Cassidy does as well. I love Bob and Shuley. I just don't like Bob and MLC. Okay.
I mean, if you're Chad and you're backed into a corner, what else are you going to do?
Kinky Loco says Cardiff put the DabbleCon set bootleg on his Patreon. That's how you deal with someone recording your set. I didn't even think of that. Six String Man says the entire chat shitting on Chad is better than the actual show. Jason N. Dabbler does a great Brennan impression. Yes, he does.
Yeah,
yes,
he does.
Have you guys heard? Yeah. He did that during DabbleCon Live. I've been listening to MLC since it was on Riotcast. I love listening to Brennan bitch and complain. Yeah, there's definitely something almost addictive about it. Ryan Sharman says, Citizen M, I get you don't like Chrissy, but what do you think John would do with the video? So I believe we're all caught up on comments. I apologize if we've missed any. Me and Brian are trying our best here, but we're old men. All right, so that's really all the Dabble. Maybe that's it with us and the Dabbleverse. We are Dabbleverse adjacent, I've always said, but we're at the heart of this. We're a movie and TV review podcast. It just so happens that the only way we get any attention is to mention our love of Stuttering John, Howard Stern, and the extended Dabbleverse. So coming clean right there. The next clip I wanted to play, this is a long one. It's like 7 minutes. I don't know if I'll play the whole thing, but I came across it in a YouTube wormhole. The quality's not bad, but it's a deleted scene from the movie The Departed, directed by Martin Scorsese. Right? We've totally shifted gears here. So I've always been of the opinion, Brian, and I think you have too. I don't know, Matt, what your take is. The Departed is overrated.
I agree.
I mean, and I think the central weakness to the movie is the casting of Leonardo DiCaprio in the lead. He is too D Gulag. I'm new here, but this podcast is great. Thank you so much, D Gulag. You'll start to hate us beginning right now. This new-ish. This is when we start to get, we're just naturally boring people. But this is when it'll happen. But I never thought DiCaprio was cast right because he doesn't have the gravitas.
I was about to say, I don't think he
that
has.
role.
He's not physically impending enough to
got
carry
baby face.
that role.
He's baby face.
He's not like he's not like a whatever, a Southie
He's not
tough
Gene
guy.
Hackman. He's not Gene Hackman. He doesn't have those wrinkles at 30. He doesn't have that, like, he looks like he grew up in an LA lifestyle his whole life.
Right, and the problem with The Departed is that they surround him with character actors who pull it off.
Yeah.
So it draws attention more to how miscast this pretty boy DiCaprio is.
Especially at the end, and at no point do I ever believe that Leonardo DiCaprio could kick Matt Damon's ass.
I'd say that a Wahlberg, who's not a gifted actor, I think at all, would have been better in the DiCaprio role. And also, Jack Nicholson shouldn't have been the lead mobster. I thought essentially the Whitey Bulger. I don't know. The Town is a better version of a worse movie.
I think The Town is a bad movie too, though.
So here we're going to go. I'm going to share this deleted scene, and I don't know where I'm going with it. This is essentially, when I say this is a clip show and there's no creativity or talent or anything, but here's where we're going to go. We're just going to watch this deleted scene. My theory is that it is proof that DiCaprio's miscast.
This scene
Oh, and feel free to like tell me to pause it or anything like that. We don't, you know what I mean?
was one of my favorite scenes actually in the film. Delahunt has been shot. He's dying. He calls Billy over. Ultimately, in the film, the final part of the scene remains in which he says, I gave you the wrong address, but you came to the right one, meaning I know that you're the rat. But what happened was that originally when I read the script, there's this long scene that you'll see now in which Delahunt talks about his feelings about the boss, Costello, and the life he's been leading. And what I liked about it was that he talks about the boss asking him, could he kill somebody for him if he knew he was the rat? And I like the performance here, Mark's performance, because of the
sorry, Brian.
The issue is where he discusses that he thought he could, but now he knows he can't kill someone. And does that mean that he knows Billy's the rat and he doesn't want to see Billy killed? Why didn't he tell the guys while he was dying in the van, getting over to the bar that they're in? All these questions came to mind, and I wondered what that was. Is Delahunt really a cop?
Hey, how you doing? I called the vet. You want the
Sorry
good
for the
news?
quality. It is what it
He's
is.
sober. The fucking vet's sober, so you're gonna be all right. Okay? Bad news is the traffic's bad. What's fucking yeah? Traffic's bad. Yeah. So hold on, right? You're gonna be fine. Sure. Okay, big guy? Yeah. You easy, right? Sure. Yeah. So where the fuck were you?
Well, boss told me to go home.
Bring your son to
Whatever.
work day.
Maybe he did, maybe he didn't, but you went out fucking home. So where the fuck were you?
I was at the grocery store with no signal. All right, when I got the signal, I got the call. What the fuck do you want from me? Was I there or was I not there, huh? Billy. Huh? Billy.
Two days ago.
Yeah.
2 days ago, the boss says to me, it's been 10 years you've been with me, and you never done me wrong. And then he asked me if one of the other guys is a rat, would I take him out?
Mm-hmm.
I told him I would, but I don't know if I would. I mean, Now I know I can. I mean, I've done a lot of bad things, but I've never been a murderer. Bill.
Yeah.
I don't want no one to put me in a dumpster. Just don't put me in a dumpster.
Sketchy Press. That was the name of the podcast earlier, whose name escaped me. Just came to me. Sketchy Press.
Stop. All right.
When you're dead, it makes no difference where they put you. Jesus Christ. You'd be all right. Come on.
Departed. Huh. I'm nearly the departed. You know what I thought today?
What's that?
Our Danish shop today is a rat.
Yeah? So?
Have you never been late in your life? And when I called you, I made a mistake. I gave you the wrong address, but you
So he's
showed up
confronted
at the
him. He
right
knows
one,
he's the rat.
didn't you?
Tell me why I didn't tell nobody. Huh?
But then he's like, and he dies. The secret is safe. So I'm arguing that scene shows that DiCaprio is miscast because he can't hold his weight surrounded by those other character actors. I mean, I guess it's a deleted scene, but also the fact that, you know, the dying man says the name of the movie in that. I mean, right? So I don't know. Am I wrong here? Accents suck. Or here we go. Here we go. Six String Man says Mark Wahlberg was great. Yeah, he was great in that movie. And you know what? I'd argue that Alec Baldwin would have made a better bad guy than Jack Nicholson. Alec Baldwin
was
steals
awesome
that
in
movie.
The Departed. Alec Baldwin was great in that part, though.
Shoots no one. I mean, in real life. Citizen M. Citizen M says Leo was perfectly cast in The Departed. He makes the film. Leonardo is 6 feet tall, by the way.
It's not about the height. It's about the
Hey,
age
when
behind
Citizen
his
M
eyes.
comments, let me give you some advice. Citizen M comments, you just read it. Don't react. D Gulag, I hate DiCaprio. He's overdramatic, and when he has a role with an accent, it's always laughable. Yeah, he did go in and out of his Boston accent right there. Jason N says, it's going too fast for me. Accents suck. We don't sound that normal here, and I'm 10 minutes from downtown Boston. That's right. That dude was the rapist from Shawshank. Although now we'll get thrown off for saying that word.
Rawlsome,
Say that again.
Mark Rawlsome.
Yeah.
Citizen M. The only time Leonardo's accent was ever criticized was Blood Diamond, and even the film critics understand he had the correct Rhodesian accent. You know what Leonardo DiCaprio is great in? Oh, also his accent's really good in What's Eating Gilbert Grape. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
That's the only movie I love him in. I think he's unbelievably, but I think he's perfectly cast in that as a movie star in the, in the make or break period of his career.
Yeah, and did he win an Academy Award for that? I know he got nominated. He was great in that. Yeah, I'll give him credit for that. But he's not good in The Departed, and The Departed is a pale version. It's like the dummy version of Goodfellas.
It's a remake of a Hong Kong film called Infernal Affairs. Most people don't realize that.
And here is, I don't know, is it Luck of the Blind or Luke of the Blind? I prefer to say Luke of the Bind. I'm sorry, not blind. He says, Leonard Dope. Look at that. We got that.
My big issue with that scene is when he says, you're the rat, and he reaches for his gun. Like, what is he going to do? Shoot him? He's about to rat him out. Like, you're going to shoot this guy who's already dying and basically out. Like, why did you shoot him? Well, he was going to rat me out. What excuse do you have at that point? If he did start shouting to the high hills that Leonardo was the rat. It doesn't make any sense.
D Gulag says DiCaprio was great on Epstein's Island. What are you going to say, Bri?
I just I have an issue with the entire Departed movie because it kind of got Scorsese. It might be Scorsese's biggest hit at that time. It's just because it's a decent enough movie. I think it could be all recast, and I don't think it's a Scorsese movie at heart. You know, it's a Scorsese movie, but not at heart. It's no Goodfellas, and I think there's a certain generation that put it up there with the Goodfellas.
I think a lot of that has to do with the casting because you have a lot of heavy hitters in it.
It's the People's Choice movie.
Yeah.
Luke, but wishing me luck is always nice. Luke of the blind. Okay, Luke of the bind.
Luke of the bind
Sorry.
and see.
We have breaking news. Cardiff Natural Gas. Never seen it. Beloved Chatter's loved one. DiCaprio's nervous smoking style is his most memorable part of a lot of his performances. All right, so I'm surprised we're getting, see, we must all be of a certain age that we're all agreeing on this. Because, yeah, it does. At the beginning of that clip, it looks like it's Take Your Son to Work Day. I only liked him in Critters 3. I did not know DiCaprio was in Critters 3. Brian, were you aware of that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Critters 3.
I was not aware of that. Been a long time since I've seen Critters 3.
Yeah,
that's back in his not Family Ties, but the other one,
Growing Pains.
Growing Pains era.
Six String Man says my favorite DiCaprio movie is The Wolf of Wall Street. That is a good movie.
When he's messed up on it, he can't get, and he's crawling on the floor.
The Quaalude scene is amazing.
Yeah, that Quaalude scene might be one of his best.
Maybe that's what Kevin was trying for. Maybe it was just a recreation. Luke of the Bind. I now said it correctly. The Beach was a fun Leo movie. Yeah, I remember seeing that in the theater. But that was a bomb, right? It wasn't like Danny Boyle after
bomb. That was
after 28 Days Later.
And it gave a rift between Ewan McGregor and
Danny
Boyle at the time, because at that time, he went with DiCaprio because DiCaprio had the bigger name and was going to get a bigger box office, and it probably would have been
fresh off of Titanic then.
Yeah. And listen, I'll be honest, that's why I hate Leonardo, because he's in our age group, and, he was every woman's fantasy, because of the goddamn Titanic, and a movie which I still haven't seen, but I own in case there's any impressionable women that want to come over.
Well, he's still making impression on women up until the age of 27.
Yeah.
25. Kinky Loco, Critters 3 is my dog's favorite movie.
I have Critters 1 and 2. I'm looking at it right now on VHS, but I don't have the third one.
Citizen M, the whole idea is that Leonardo DiCaprio is perceived as being a criminal due to him being in a lower class, but he doesn't pull that off. I know I'm breaking my own rule. He doesn't seem that way. He almost has an air about him of aristocracy. That's my point with Leo. He doesn't pull that off. Wahlberg is much more believable as white trash. Damon's character is well respected and evil. Also, Goodfellas is overrated as fuck.
Whoa.
Blood Diamond is the best, says Tony Sal. Titanic says Luke of the Bind.
Can I ask you guys a question?
Let me just get Tommy's comment up here. This guy's royalty. Tommy, De Niro is in the Irishman, Nicholson, DiCaprio in Departed. There are times actors need to be visited by actual mobsters in relation to bad performances. Yeah, looking back, we were all gaga over the Irishman. We were sheep reviewing that movie when it came out, but it's not a good movie either. I hate to say that. But
I didn't like it when it came out.
Yeah, we were all about it. Not as bad as the Sopranos movie, though. All right, go ahead, Matt. I'm sorry. And then
my question to you guys: what do you think of Black Mass, the Johnny Depp movie, which is the Whitey Bulger story, which kind of incorporates what the Departed is about?
Now, I'm going to say this with all due respect to my lifelong friend, Mr. Brian Spears. He is a special effects makeup artist and works on film and television. It's almost like the makeup in that movie is a distraction from the performance. The eyes, the hair.
I thought
it was okay. It wasn't terrible.
Security, I can't say much, but I'm not going to blame the makeup. I'm going to blame the eyes. It's the eyes. It's contact lenses.
Oh wait, so if you're on a movie set and it calls for contact lenses,
technically, yes, you would design that, but I'm going to say it's the distraction is more the color of the contacts than the makeup. And I have to say that for job security. Read into that how you like.
I'll say Depp elevated the material. He elevated what was a very mediocre movie.
I thought there was another show on, was it Showtime at the time, called Brotherhood?
Oh, right. I never watched that.
I've never seen
that show was the best sort of Whitey Bulger-ish story about, I think it was mobster set in Rhode Island, or the Massachusetts border. It was
probably
basically
Rhode Island. Rhode Island is a scary place for people who don't know. I'm waiting for the great Rhode Island movie to come out.
Well, that show was incredible. Kinky has a good question because.
Well, what do you got? I love Casino. Didn't like it that much.
Casino.
Didn't like it when I first saw it. I was sort of down on it. It took me repeated viewings to start to. I still can't sit through the movie from beginning to end because it's too long. But it is one of those movies when it's on, you got to watch at least a half hour of it. And it's one of those movies that you can watch clips of on YouTube for all day. It is, yeah. I don't think it's better than Goodfellas.
It's not better than Goodfellas. It's got the incredible scenes. It's got incredible like vignette scenes. Sharon Stone is unbelievable.
And, great death scene with the Rolling Stones playing over there.
James Woods, talk about
such a piece of shit.
That guy
such a piece of
so
shit in that
good.
movie. Yeah,
he is so awesome. Of course, Joe. Everybody else. What it's missing is the Ray Liotta. It's missing. It never there was no character like in Goodfellas. You had no
the center.
Yeah, you had no center.
De Niro's a little boring. I mean, his performance is great. The character's a little boring. We were getting some Rhode Island talk. All the mobsters who needed to get away went up 95 and either stopped in Connecticut or Rhode Island. Rhode Island is super corrupt. Yeah, there was a whole Rhode Island, Connecticut mobster thing where what was that game that was big for 10 minutes in the 70s? Is it High Lie? Is that how you say it? I don't know if I'm...
It's still big in Miami, High Lie.
Completely mob controlled in Connecticut and Rhode Island. Interesting stories there. Love James Woods. Yeah. James Woods is a great actor. James Woods is a piece of shit in real life. Method acting goes too far. Citizen M. God bless you. But that's really it. I don't know. The last thing I'll say, there's other stuff. I had other stuff on the agenda here, but we've been at it an hour.
Didn't James Woods sue a fan because she implied on Twitter that
here's the thing. Here's the thing about repeating something. If somebody gets sued for defamation, I don't know if he won or lost.
I think he won.
Repeating it. Okay, then you don't want to repeat it. But I think you're right. He did sue somebody for either libel or slander for something said.
I'm not implying at all that he does that or did that. So please, James Wood, don't come after me. But from what I understand, he still tried to collect after she died or something like that.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. I know under the 1996 Federal Telecommunications Act, we should not be held personally liable for anything we say on this stream. Actually, no, that's YouTube. Oh, a piece of candy. James was assaulted. Does Leo use the method? If so, it proves he's a lot. I like that we're all rallying around hate for Leonardo DiCaprio. That just makes my Saturday.
Again,
all right, one last clip.
He is amazing in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I think he's phenomenal in that movie. I think he is so good.
And What's Eating Gilbert Grape?
I was about to say Gilbert Grape. He's amazing.
I used to put that. I worked in a video store that was a Criminal Front, and we would put that on all the time.
I even liked him in Basketball Diaries.
That one I never saw.
Yeah, I don't know. That's
all right. Let's end. I saw somebody on Twitter. Beloved Chatter's loved one. No way that FTC anticipated this podcast. Somebody put on Twitter. I don't remember who. I think maybe his name was Tony Toast or Tony Loco or Tony Tot. Played or tweeted this great scene from Eastbound and Down, and let's end on I love Ray Liotta, Tommy says, especially in Something Wild.
Yeah.
Gary Oldman. Yeah. Gary Oldman is State of Grace. Any State of Grace fans out there?
It's the greatest movie.
John C. Reilly, Sean Penn, Robin Wright Penn before she was married to Sean Penn and subsequently divorced. Did I say Ed Harris? I probably did. I don't know. Burgess Meredith. That's an underrated 90s gangster flick.
State of Grace. Ed Harris does an incredible interview from years ago. It was in one of those magazines, Premiere or something like that. And he talks about how he had to quit drinking for a while because of the set of The Irishman with Sean Penn, Gary Oldman. They were all in their drinking days. And he said it was like an incredible, Irish, set where everyone was just drinking and having a good time afterwards.
Gary Oldman's fantastic. Tommy says, Leon, Matt's favorite movie.
It's not my favorite movie.
It's not there.
True
You
Romance.
went on for a True Romance, and Romeo
True
is
Romance.
bleeding.
True Romance, yeah, but I mean, I do like Leon, but I'm more of
True
a
Romance. He was.
Yeah.
I swear to God, Oldman should have won an Oscar for that. He was incredible in that.
He's great.
He's
in
really
Romeo.
over the top in Leon.
Who's the female lead opposite him in Romeo? Is it
Gina
Olin?
Olin.
Yeah.
Very good movie. D Gulag says Dracula.
I love Dracula. I don't care what anybody says about that movie. I love that movie.
All right, so let's get out of here. My son's not feeling well. Thank you, everybody, for commenting and talking to us on a Saturday. I really appreciate that. That's nice of people. No one said anything mean.
Well, they're saying it all under their breath as they type it in.
No, it'll be in the comments section.
They'll tweet it after we're done.
No. It'll be in the comments. Somebody will get in there and be like, "Why are you guys broadcasting?" All right. One of the greatest comedy television programs of all time. Can we agree on that, right? Let me turn it up a little.
No business, better look out, because I'm coming for you.
You were so great, baby. You had so much control.
Hey, April, did your pussy get wet in there? I know if I had a pussy, it'd be wet as shit. I'd be like squirting.
Dude, why are you talking about my wife's private parts?
Oh, well, no, I'm sorry. I apologize, Lady Powers.
Don't call her Lady Powers, just call her April, man. Come on, don't ruin this celebratory moment with being shameful and vulgar.
No, I don't mean to ruin. I'm just so excited. I haven't felt this good in so long. I just wanna punch something.
Whoa, what the fuck?
I'm hurt, Kenny.
Stevie, are you okay?
No, don't get your fucking blood on me. Stevie, breathe.
Okay, I'm gonna see you at home. Bye, baby. I love you. I love you. See you later, pumpkin.
Yes.
Yeah.
In the words of Cardiff Electric. Oh man, mash the like button. So that's all I got. Wait, we got a Jay Moore. For anyone who has never met Purple, this is him. Wait, who is? Oh, wait, who's Purple? You're saying Stevie, or is he in the chat? That was one of my favorite moments of DabbleCon when they at the beginning of DabbleCon they went around. Wait, hold on one sec. And they told everybody specifically, put your cell phones away. No recording. If you leave your cell phone out, we'll take it from you. I think they might have said. I might be wrong there. And they specifically went up to this dude Purple because he's the guy that had captured the Chad Zumock set that they played and reacted to on Who Are These Podcasts. So that was funny. All right, last but not least, what did I just do here? We got Kinky clarifying himself. No, he acts like the Eastbound and Down character who punched the window. Okay, Stevie. He isn't here in the chat. Thank you for clarifying that, Kinky Loco. Beloved Chatter's loved one, Jay Moore would have slapped him for talking about his wife's private parts. D Gulag, Chad claimed that Jay Moore hit on him. Yeah, I saw that was a classic MLC arranged by Chad. I think Chad, right? Didn't Chad get that whole group together?
Yes, Chad had him call in.
Probably that's like a clip that made the show sort of mainstream. It might have been, maybe that's how I first came across it, because I actually used to listen to the Jay Moore podcast. More stories. I'll admit that. All right, everybody. Let's thank you, Kiki Loco. Let's go through all of them. Beloved Chatter's loved one, Cardiff Natural Gas, Tommy, Jason N, D Gulag, I might have mentioned, Jason N, Citizen M, Luke of the Bind NC, Six String Man, Tony Sal, and everybody else who commented. Thank you so much for keeping us company. And for Brian Spears and Matt Maisto, check out Mondo Creepy on YouTube or on the, what do they call it? The Roku channel? What channel?
OSI 74 on Roku.
Check it
it's
out.
It's also a website, osi74.com. You can check it out there as well.
And in about May, we'll probably have a new Mondo Creepy to consume.
A whole bunch of Mondo Creepy, hopefully.
There we go. Up and coming. Bye, everybody. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me, guys. Thank you.